at Nachal. I'm released from the army a year ago, and I start my life. I work in sales, and also in the weekend I work as security guard with one of my best friends, Bar Cooperstein. And we've been here in October 7. We kind of came two best friends from Holon. We just want to work, and I'm a survivor, and he is still hostage. And it started in 6:30 in the morning. We see rockets in the sky. My job was kind of the commander of the gate around the party, so all the emergency exit, it was kind of on me. And in 6:30, I just traveling with the ATV, just do around here, like you see, just driving. And then we see the rockets, and then I come in right here. All the security guards come in right here, and we start to tell people that they need to leave, and very fast. And we just tell them, leave, take your stuff and leave. And after about 20-30 minutes, I got a call in the radio from the police, and they told me that I need to open an emergency exit. So remember where we came from right there, this road, and coming with the bus, right? Till here. I did the same thing, but the opposite. From there, I tell people, follow me and open the emergency exit, how we get in from here, right there. And I tell people, follow me, till the road right there, you can see. At that point, the police told me that I need to tell him going left. So I didn't think too much, just do what the police told me to do. And I told him going left. And from the right, coming a woman, that she got out from the car, and she was bleeding from the head. And she just catch my arm and tell me, please save me. At that time, it just rockets in the sky, and not me, and not everyone. Nobody know that something like that can happen, and all the terrorists around us. So I just tell her, talk with me, what happened? She not responds, she's crying, she's in panic. And I got a call to the police, and I told them I have injured a woman, I need help. And they told me, we can help you right now, put her in the ambulance. So I take her in the ATV, I drive her from the road right here. It was kind of 1 minute to drive. Here was the ambulance. And I put her in the ambulance. And it was 1 minute that I asked her, what happened? Talk with me. And she panicked, she not respond. And then when I put her in the ambulance, she just looked at me with scary face and told me the terrorists attacked them. At that moment, me and more security guard, we start to understand what actually happening. And the paramedics say that we have a lot of injuries people that coming back from the roads, that coming back here. And from that moment, me and my friend, I am on my ATV, he's driving on his ATV. We start to take care of people. We do a lot of tourniquet. We take them on the ATV many times. I think more than 20, more than 30 times that we're driving from the road here and back. And one thing, how is my friend, his work, it was amazing. He take kind of in branches and kind of a shirt and do amazing tourniquet to many people and save many people's life. And after about 20-30 minutes that we just take care of people, injury people, we got a call, like the police say, the biggest group that survive where they're running to the moshav that called Patish. It's right there direction, right there. And the police told us, to the security guard, that we need to kind of to tell him where to run. And at that point, me and my friend, we're driving in the same ATV. He's driving, I next to him. And we just see how everyone running right there. And we see small group, few people, they just landing on the ground and not running. And me and my friend, we came to them, and we see, again, 3 injuries, women that getting shot in the legs. So we do it again, tourniquet, take them back to here, and from here we go back to the road, 232 road right there. And I don't know if you're watching the videos, but you have one video, famous one, that you see a car from the police right there. And it was maybe around the time 8 something in the morning. And then we see terrorists that they come with the jeeps, and they come with their cars driving to our way from that direction. And We just see them maybe around 300, 400 meters. They just start to shooting. At that time, my friend just screamed at me and told me, Dean, run to the party. At that time, I didn't think too much. I just doing what he told me to do. And I started running from there back to here. And it was the last time they see him. And I ran here, right here. I started to do a lot of phone calls to my friends from my army, from my team, because I know that they here around Gaza, probably fighting. So I just called to many friends. I started to send a lot of locations to many people. I think hundreds of people. They just sent locations and location and location. And then one of my best friends texts me, Dean, near to your location, a lot of terrorists coming. You need to run away. And then after a few seconds, the terrorists coming just from everywhere, and the shooting is coming from everywhere. And me and a group, maybe 9-10 people, we start running to the woods right there, where the sun. And we start running maybe 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, almost 2 hours that we're just running from bush to bush, from hideout to hideout. And then after almost 2 hours, and then they run in a hill, I behind them. And again, terrorists from 60, 50 meters. And I behind them, just see how they falling down one by after. And at that time, I see that it was very close to dead. And I just see how most of the group just dying. And at that time, I take a left, I start to running. And I'm running and looking left and right, and I see that I'm alone, completely alone. After a few minutes, I'm still running, and I just see how bullets fly next to me, maybe about here, 2-3 meters every side, and here and here. And I just run for my life. After a few minutes, I see 2 cactus bushes, one from the right and one from the left. I cover myself, something like that, and I jump to the right one. And I've been in the bush from 10:30 in the morning, 10:30, 10:40, till 7 p.m. And now I tell you what happened between the hours. 10:30, 10:40, I jump to the bush, and again I send a lot of location to many people, to my parents, to my friends. And I start to do also a lot of goodbye message to many friends. And the time is, I go with you almost 1 p.m. That all the time it was, I heard how the terrorists, they shooting, their RPG, the music from their cars, how they screaming. I heard all the screaming of civilians, people just running. And I'm inside the bush, around the time is 1 something. And just looking right, and I see shadow of terrorists behind me. And then I make 1:35, I make one, I think in that time that it's my last video. So I feel myself, I will show you in the end. And in 2 p.m. I send my big brother, the till October 7, he live in Toronto in Canada. I tell him, Emil, I love you, take care of mom and dad and the brothers and all the family. I'm probably going to die, a lot of terrorists behind me. And then I text my mom. Actually, my mom sent me 5 voices messages, and I respond her and I recording, Mom, I love you. Thank you about everything that you give me in my life. Take care of dad. Take care of all the family. I'm probably going to die. And the voice message didn't send because of the connection. And 2:24, my phone batteries died. So the last thing that my mom see, it's me recording and then disappear. After maybe 20-30 minutes, I don't have a phone. I don't have nothing. Every second it's actually an hour. And after 20-30 minutes, 3 terrorists come into my bush, and they just passed next to me. They coming from the right and leaving from the left, one by after. At that moment, I just accept the death, and I just realized they're going to die. So I just close my eyes and waiting for the moment they're going to kill me. And I just close my eyes and I see light that it's like put me the sun in my eyes. It's something that I can't explain. And then it was a quiet. I opened my eyes and I see, and I told myself, Dean, you're still alive. And then the time is keeping moving. It's almost 4 4 p.m. it's hot, and I start to hallucinating. And if it was to see the terrorist in the morning right there, the first time 300, 400 meters, and then I see them 50, 60 meters. Every time that I close my eyes, I just see them in front of me because they're hallucinating. And the time is keeping moving, and then I start to smell a smoke. And that time, I just think to myself, and I told myself, the terrorists found me and they're going to burn me alive. So I have a decision to take what I'm going to do. And accepting the death and realize that you're going to die, it's one thing, but accepting that the thing that you're going to burn me alive, it's a different story, and it's feeling that it's terrible. I don't know how to explain. But then one message that my friend sent me, maybe around from 12, that this message been with me all the hours. He told me, please don't be a hero, just keep hiding in the bush. And then I thinking maybe go to fight with the terrorists, not fight, they're going to burn me or not burn me. I decide to stay in the bush and told myself if they want to burn me alive, so burn me alive. And then it's between 5 to 6, it started to be a little bit cold, it started to be a little bit dark, and I heard it's police with Arabic accent. At that moment I just think to myself how it's making sense. Just to imagine to you, right here, all of here, imagine to you a lot of terrorists, a lot, I say more than 10, more than 20, that you heard them all the time, and then scream to me, it's police, it's police. So I just think to myself that it's not possible, it's not making sense, and I decide to stay in the bush till the time, maybe 6 something, 6, I don't know exactly, but it started to be dark a little bit and more dark and more dark, and I decide to stay in the bush, but to go out between the leaves, how I'm hiding. And I start to wave to helicopter, maybe 30, 40 minutes, that I just wave into helicopter, waiting for the moment they're going to see me. And no one see me, and the time is 7 p.m. 7 p.m, it's dark, I'm tired, and I decide to go out from the bush. And just a few seconds before I got out from the bush, I just freezing with myself and just pray Shema Israel, like I never pray, and I just begging for help from God. And I got from the bush and I take left. Again, I don't know why I take left, but it's God direction. And 40 minutes that I running in the open field, and what I see from the right and from the left, it's another body from the right, it's another body from the left, it's cars that burn, many bodies, many cars. And after 40 minutes I see lights from the car, and I'm hiding. I think to myself, or it's the terrorist or it's the IDF. But then after a few seconds I told myself I don't want to hide anymore, and what's going to happen. I scream, help me, and thank you God, he sent me 2 soldiers that response, it's the IDF. And I run into them, they give me a water, I charge my phone, I call my parents, and then the soldier asked me if I remember where was the bush that I hiding, and if I see more survivors. And I told him that I not see more survivors, but I remember what was the bush. So we drive together back to the bush. We came closer to the bush, and we not found survivors. And we get closer to the bush, and what we see, that the bush next to me was completely burned, on fire. And then I told myself that it's not was hallucinating, the smoke that I smell, it's actually real, and it's another miracle. From there, they take me to the gas station in Noim, and then brother of my friend called me and asked me in panic, where is bar? I told him that I don't know, I just get out from the woods. And then his brother sent me a video that you see my friend with more hostages inside the room with the hand behind the back, hostage. And then I started just to cry. I even didn't realize what happened to me, and one of my best friends is hostage. And always I say a few words about him. Just 2 or 3 days before what happened, איך אומרים פאנצ'ר?
Flat.
I got a flat tire, my bikes. And I called him, I told him, Bar, can you help me? And he's coming after 20 minutes. And this is a little bit from the person that he's hard. And also he volunteered in Yedidim. And he was the kind of the friend that we can not talk for a month, maybe 2 also, because every person with his army, but every time that we met, he just like again, always again. And from there they take me to the hospital in Be'er Sheva, and my parents waited for me. And something about my mom, that my mom never run. I never see my mom running my whole life. At the moment I got out from the car, she just ran to me and hugged me like she never hugged. My mom from 2 p.m. just waited in Soroka and told the doctors which tattoo I have to discover my body. And we're crying outside of the hospital. From there I tell mom, please take me home. I got home 11 p.m. It started 6:30 in the morning. I start to work in Friday in 9 p.m. 11 p.m. I got home, I take a shower, and 1 hour they were just shaking and crying about my friend, crying because all the memories is coming. And then a Sunday is coming, and for me Sunday it's also a nightmare. My friend from my team called me and told me with a panic, please don't tell me true. And I think to myself, he don't know about my friend, and he don't know about me in the Nova, so what are you talking about? And then he understand that I'm from the Nova, I'm a survivor from the Nova. And then he trying to end the call, and I told him, Dvir, talk with me. And then he told me that we lose a friend, that his name Or Mizrahi, Zichrono Livracha. We lose a friend of our team. Or Mizrahi kind of being the heart and the most funny guy that I met. He's like kind of my brother. And that moment that he told me that he's died when he fighting in the Kerem Shalom in the base. He was a soldier, and I just crying. And he have also sad story in the family. He lose his mom when he was a kid from a cancer, and also 4 years ago he lose his older brother in a motorcycle accident, and he see actually how he dying. And now Or Mizrahi Zichrono Livracha is dead, and his father just lose his wife and both of his sons. And Or Mizrahi was the heart, was that kind of the soldier that everyone loved. Many friends. I don't met a guy that actually don't love him, and actually I miss him. And after that call, it's another call that our commanders died, and more commanders that I know that died, and just another call that another person that I know or hostage or died. And after a few days I just decide to go to Israeli news, ערוץ 13. I go and share my story like right now. And after the interview in the news, I just get out from the interview and I just breathe with myself. And I told myself that it was very good for my soul and very good for my heart. And I want to keep doing that. After that, after the interview, I go first time to Survivor's Place, it's called. It was kind of a big room that survivors from the Nova came and talking and share their story. And it's a small story. And it's a circle. I talking maybe after a few people. And I just see how 2 women and one of the brothers of the woman just get in and they sit and just look at me very strange. And I see they look at me very strange, and I don't know why. But then I start my story and I start, hello everyone, my name is Tessler from Holon, and I say that I'm not like you, came to the party to have fun and celebrate. I work there. And then one of the women, she asked me if I work as security guard, and I told her yes. Then she asked me if I driving on the ATV, and I told her yes. And then she asked me if I been in right there at point and tell people going left, and I told her yes, with it's good or not good feeling. But then she told me that this left actually saved her life. And all these 5 days, everyone told me how much I'm a hero, and actually I didn't care till that moment, because I'm more sad about my loss, about my friend, many friends. But from that day, it was Hamishi, 5 days after. Yes, I'm a hero. Yes, probably I saved many lives. Just with that left that I told them, going left and not right, probably saved many lives. And after the day, I just understand with myself, and I told myself that what I want to do is to do speeches and talking and share my story. And just 2 weeks ago, I get back from the state. I've been in New York and Miami. I share my story in more than 40 speeches. And next week I flying back to USA. Keep doing the speeches. And two message from me to you every time that I end the speech. It's one of that about me, like I told you, in October 7, the time is almost was 2, I'm 3. I'm accept my death. I realize they're going to die. And God give me a second chance. And I want to tell you, appreciate your life, because after a day after October 7, I can tell you about me. I'm appreciate everything. And everything, I can just sit with my friends and my heart can be with happiness. And it doesn't matter, any person have his problem with his life, but I can tell you, if I can appreciate my life, if I can be happy, and you can do also. And just appreciate your life, because every day it's actually a gift, and you need to remember that till the last day in your life, because it's real. Every day is a gift. And the second thing, it's about me and the faith and about God. I can tell you about myself. 2 months before October 7, I didn't be religious. I've been actually the opposite. I told you like yesterday, I eat cheeseburger, I be honest with you, pizza, pepperoni, like everything. And then 2 months before what happened, I started to work in an insurance company, and I met a guy that his name Ori. He became religious 2 years ago, and we became kind of best friend in the work. We work table next to table, and he every morning do to me Torah lesson, and because of him, I start to put tefillin every day. I started to keep the kosher thing. 2 months before it happened, random, and then October 7 is coming. It was a lot of questions. Why me? Why I'm survived and not my friend? Why I'm survived? And I can tell you that it was God. My story, it's too much miracles, a lot of miracles that just God give me a second chance. And I see that all of you, the team, and believe, so I don't need to tell you get closer to God, but because I see that you're doing that, but you can do more, like all the time. And faith is something important. It doesn't matter what you have in your life, if it's study, if it's school, if it's homework, if it's test, I don't know. Any person with his problem, but keep believing good and keep be with the faith. And that's it. If you have a question, go for it. Thank you very much.